hate buttons.
Oh, hello everyone. Welcome back to Don't Panic. We apologize for the interruption. The computer just decided to crash on us, and we just had
heat.
It was our heat.
Our internal heat that was happening.
Exactly, because of the crazy conversation that we were having. Hold on, I'm refreshing my page to make sure that I can see us being broadcast. Da, 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 da. Oh, I don't see it. Is it on my personal page, or where's it broadcasting on?
It still should be linked through Joycaster.
Oh,
Right
okay.
now it's up. Give it just a minute. It just come through broadcast.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
I'll fit you with anything.
Was that our mic friend?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me know when. On. For watching. When we got cut off, we were talking about the allegations toward the gold medal winner Shaun White, and we were discussing like the things that she could have done. Jeremy, you were saying, well, why doesn't she walk away? Because Brandy, you said you would just smack him.
I would, like, if somebody, just.
But what if he liked it?
Well, it's not you, Israel.
Okay, I keep thinking about me. But what I was going to say is, she said that he had sent her for 2 years, harassed her, sent her sexually explicit photos, and forced her to watch sexually disturbing videos, which I don't know how you force someone to watch sexually explicit videos, unless that's just my guy side coming out.
I think that's a guy's side, because maybe he was like in her cubicle, or if they were working together and got on her computer and while she was sitting there and was like, hey, check this video out. Like,
oh, are you not supposed to do that? That's how I hire my trainees.
you're different then.
Oh, how did that video get on there? Oh my gosh. Look, the computer's stuck. We're going to have to watch this till the end. I'm not trying to make light of the situation. I'm trying to make light of the show. But also, along those lines, so then we have Aziz Ansari, who... and this is the one that I think started turning. Is do you know who he is? He's an actor. He's a comedian, and he has a show. I don't know.
He has several shows. He's worked on several shows.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and so a woman came out alleging that he also, like a lot of like sexual misconduct with him and everything, because they had sex one evening, and she said that that she didn't want to do it, and when they called him out on it, he said, well, I'm sorry that she felt that way. I thought it was like just fine. And she said that no, she didn't want to do it. She sent nonverbal cues that he should have known about. So she didn't say anything, but he should have picked up on it. And when that happened, I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. Ashley Banfield, who is an anchor for HLN News, she called out the accuser and said, quote, "What you have done is appalling. You went to the press with a story of a bad date." And that's when she said, "There's this really great movement called the Me Too movement, and you are making it like crumble, taking a portion of it out." So, what do you think of?
I think I think we had this conversation the last time. I think it comes with the territory, but I feel like at the same time, those small instances of where it is not necessarily sexual harassment shouldn't necessarily silence all the stories that are.
I agree
and so,
with you, yes.
and I think that that's what we as an audience need to be paying attention to. So the onus isn't just on the news. The onus is on the people who are watching the news as well. Like, I think we have to get out of this mentality of blaming the news for everything. It's not the news. It's the people watching the news who are interpreting it and keep feeding that cycle as well.
Yeah. And the last case, and then I'll open it up to the panel again, was, of course, the James Franco thing, when he was nominated for Best Actor at this year's Golden Globes. I'm just going to call her Sarah. That's her first name. I'm not going to say her last name because you never know why these people are going out in the social media age where you can become popular. She accused him. Okay, so she took a class about how to do love scenes. And she was asked to get naked, and she said that Franco removed safety guards while filming an oral sex scene. I'm sorry, she didn't say this. This is an actual fact that he did. Sorry. He removed safety guards while filming an oral sex scene on the set of the 2015 film The Long Home. She said, quote, "I got in my head pretty quickly that, okay, you don't say no to this guy. I felt there was an abuse of power and there was a culture of exploiting non-celebrity women and a culture of women being replaceable." And so in that acting class, they were supposed to get naked naked, and they were supposed to do the sex scene. And then after that, she said, and this was a couple of years ago, I think. And then she said that now she felt uncomfortable, felt awkward in that situation. And she was upset that he had been nominated for this award that he ended up winning. So what's your take?
I'll let somebody else talk.
There needs to be a change. Obviously, the people in power in the internet industry are men. They're white men. They shouldn't be allowed to do that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm an aspiring producer. I make a point of, not doing certain things, when I'm in the, business setting of, any stage of the, meetings, auditions, filming, post-production, festivals, whatever, you have to, you have to watch what you're doing and just use common sense. Don't be a jerk. Don't be an asshole.
So let's just say this was it's an acting class, and it was called Love Scenes. So
Yeah, but when you take a guard off, like if you took off the guard,
that wasn't in the class. I'm sorry, that was my fault.
That was in the film.
Oh, okay.
That was in the film.
Oh, that was in
right?
the
That
film.
was in a film
Okay, gotcha.
a few years later.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in this one, he did ask them to get naked, and then they had to do a sex scene.
Well, one thing that you said was in her head, she was saying this is someone you don't say no to, and how you were saying about the comedian, or I think you were saying it that she didn't say anything verbally, but like she gave out physical cues of not to do nonverbal cues. I think it definitely does have to do with the woman in the position, because if you're not comfortable with it, say that you're not comfortable with it. Like if you don't say something, then the guy is not going to get any cues to stop.
Or don't take the class called Love Scenes.
Yeah, because
I do think that she should have just been like,
just stop. Like I'm not comfortable with it, because the guy's just thinking like you're okay with it, just keep going along or something like that. And so when you don't verbally say this is not okay, I don't appreciate it, and there's no like disconnect of this needs to stop or this is where it's crossing the line.
Well, we already got into this conversation where I feel like, when you're in a position of that power, whether it's James Franco, whether it's Harvey Weinstein, you have the opportunity to blacklist certain actresses and actors. Mm-hmm. And so women don't want to say no because they don't want to be blacklisted. And so in that instance, they do it because they want to make it in the career. And it's unfortunate that women have to go through that, you know, to feel like that's the only way that they can make it.
And I'm with you when you say, you know, it shouldn't erase all of the true cases that are really happening and the reason for the movement. But when it gets to the point where these women are saying that, because that one in particular, I just think you shouldn't have taken the class. You should have said you were uncomfortable with taking your top off. You should have told them you were uncomfortable with taking your bottoms off. You know, it's like, I think she just needs attention. Maybe she wanted a little money, and they could see right through it. And he handled it really well by pretty much saying, I'm not going to say anything about it. I have my own side. I feel that there are certain things that are not completely accurate, but this is the time of Me Too, and I'm all for you, so I'm just going to shut up about it. That's all he said.
Especially in that situation, because after he won the Oscar, right? That's
Golden Globe.
Oh, the Golden Globe.
Yeah, he wasn't even nominated for an Oscar.
Okay. Well, after he won the Golden Globe, that kind of puts him in the spotlight, and so everyone's looking at him because he got the award. So then it's giving that open door of people to come out and fight him on it about things that they specifically don't like about him in the past. And that definitely, things like that, especially in Hollywood and with famous people, it is opening the door to more and more cases coming out, because you put those people in the spotlight, and once they're in the spotlight, that opens the door to everyone to come out and be like, I don't like this, this, and this.
Well, Franco even got a lot of heat at the Golden Globes because he had the guy the film was based on had him come to the stage. When he got up there, he did this to him. You know, he was joking with him.
Yeah.
You know, completely, but he got all kinds of heat saying, you know, this guy, you're the reason that you're winning the award is because of this guy, and you're being mean to him. He wasn't being mean to him.
I feel like we've lost a lot of our fucking sense of humor. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
You know,
this
he's a comedian. I mean,
yeah.
that's what he does. You know, everything he does, he's had a few serious roles, but everything he does is comedy.
Yeah.
He's a very sarcastic, dry comedian.
Yeah.
And if you don't know him, then, you know, that's a lot of problems. People don't, you know, they don't look at the whole picture anymore.
Right.
They see right here what's in front of them.
Well,
and
I hope
they make a judgment.
Well, I hope that people, like when they have someone coming out saying, oh, well, this person sexually harassed me, or, you know, sexual misconduct allegations, I just hope that not everyone says, oh, because she's a female, and only because she's a female, everything she says is true. I don't want that to happen, because this is what might happen with these other women. And it makes me mad at those women that you can immediately see through their story, because there are so many women that it really has been a serious issue, and it sort of trivializes it in a way. And
But it's not just women. Terry Crews, the person that accused Kevin Spacey, was a young male.
Right.
So it's not just you know, men on women. It's not, you know, it is more than that.
Yeah, there were some models that came out,
Yeah.
male models
Yeah.
For Calvin Klein that came out against one of their photographers as well.
So I mean,
Yep.
it should, you know, it shouldn't be accepted anywhere. And I hate to say it, this goes back to parenting. Tell your kids, you know, you don't touch other people. If someone touches you, you know, do something about it. You know,
Like
don't-
take off your clothes.
Well,
No, I'm
no.
just kidding. No, I'm sorry. That's how I was raised. Israel, if somebody touches you, make sure they give you money or candy. Okay.
I don't think it's all on the parents though, because
Yeah.
once you're put into a situation like modeling, for instance, I read a story about a guest model who was upset with one of the design directors or something because he touched her breast. Like, especially in the modeling industry, that's kind of your job. Like, when a person pays you to wear their clothing, you kind of give your consent to be touched, like not in a sexual
Yeah.
like meaning.
No, I
you're giving
agree.
your consent to
Yeah.
be touched, and
But there's always a line.
yeah, there's a
always
line to be crossed for
you know.
sure. But it's just kind of
Once you feel uncomfortable, then that's you know, and that's where it's at.
That's-
Yep. And when you feel uncomfortable, speak
Yeah.
up
Say
and
you're
say,
uncomfortable.
no, thank you, and be nice about it and move out of the way and
You
go
don't have
from
to
there.
be nice.
Yeah, you don't have to be nice either.
Fuck
Guys, we
being
have to
nice.
cut to a break, and I promise the show is going to get a little lighter, because when we come back, we're going to talk about Black Panther. Yeah, and during the break, we're going to be showing you the movie trailer. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I have seen gods fly. I've seen men build weapons that I couldn't even imagine. I've I've seen aliens drop from the sky.
Yeah.
But I have never seen anything like this. How much more are you hiding?
Hold up. Let's go.
We are home. My son, it is your time.
Show me my respect and bow down.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be. Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
The revolution will not be televised. Show me my respect and bow down. We own ya. We own ya. We only getting started now. Cause we own ya. Everybody think they know me now. Cause we own ya. You and I, my homie, cause we own ya.
I waited my entire life for this. The world's gonna start over. I'ma burn it all.
What happens now determines what happens to the rest of the world.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. The revolution will not be televised. Let's have some fun. The revolution will be live.
Right? Hello, everyone. Welcome back. That was the trailer to Black Panther. And before we discuss it, if you're just now joining us, I'm going to have all of my guests reintroduce themselves, starting right here.
I'm Warren.
Brandy Amar Sky.
Jeremy Wilkinson.
Nice. Okay, so that was the trailer to Black Panther. Who's seen it? Who has not?
I've seen it.
Yeah?
I saw it last night.
And without any spoilers? Good?
It was
Worth the hype?
It was definitely worth the hype. I am not a superhero person. I do not care for superhero movies, but I was talked into going and seeing it last night, and I think it's it's my favorite superhero movie out there. And I've seen all the Avenger ones and some of the Thor ones, and I think Black Panther definitely tops the list of all of them.
Even better than Deadpool?
No, because Deadpool is very mature, and I like
The adultness
I
of
like
it.
the adultness of having a superhero.
Yeah, an adult
This,
superhero.
one, this one has like a lot of political undertones
I
as
love
well.
it. I think it's about fucking time.
Yeah. Ooh, that now.
Dude,
Oh my gosh. Have you seen it yet?
Haven't seen it yet. Going on Monday.
Nice, because it's already breaking records.
Yeah.
I think it's the largest number of pre-sale
Pre-sales.
tickets ever
Right behind
for
Star Wars.
Right behind Star Wars. Yeah. So, I have a feeling that it has to do with our, the political,
Yeah.
it's almost like this is the public's way of coming out saying enough is enough. Let's support this film that has an all black cast except for a couple of other it's
90%. It says 98% African American cast, or
Wow.
African cast, really. Not just American.
And so do you think that this is the beginning of some type of change? Because this is going to prove that there is an audience where an African American cast, not just lead actor, but most of the cast.
Also director.
And there's an audience, and it's proving. Do you think it's going to start a change where they're going to make more? What do you think?
Well, I think Get Out did that first.
Yes.
I think, Jordan, I think that
Which I haven't seen yet.
you need to
come
see
on.
it.
I know,
They're
I
doing
know.
a free showing on President's Day. It's Jordan Peele's Gift Back. So on President's Day, they're going to be showing free at all AMC theaters. Get Out.
There you go.
So once you see
No
the movie,
excuses,
though,
Israel.
it's going to be, it's kind of like their FU to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So it's perfect. But I think it started with Get Out. And then I think for females, Wonder Woman did what Black Panther is doing for the black cast. And I feel like this is the year where marginalized voices are proving that they have
Yes.
that we have been waiting to see ourselves represented on that big of a scale as superheroes.
And I remember back in the day, I'm going to age myself a little bit, but when Waiting to Exhale with Angela Bassett and Whitney Houston, they were about to screen the movie and they were a little worried thinking, oh my gosh, is there going to be an audience? And it was a huge hit. Yeah. So I thought we were going to see a lot more films with African-American women in them. And then of course they had, from the same writer, was How Stella Got Her Groove Back, which I personally just thought, I saw right through the story because I thought he's gay.
Yeah.
I mean, but she was, as they say, digmatized. And she couldn't see it, but then she did years later, but the movie flopped. And I think that's why the studios stopped, maybe, because they didn't make money off of that film. So they're like, oh, there's no audience anymore because they're not very smart.
Mm-hmm. And then Girls Trip proved them wrong as well. That's
yep,
another
that was the new comeback.
One.
Yeah.
I think it is a good change to see different diversities in movies because Hollywood for sure is definitely known for whitewashing their movies, having men at the leading roles of everything. And it's a good change to see, especially superhero movies, because superhero movies are what generations have grown up with because comic books, cartoons, stuff like that. And it's good to see females like in that role as superheroes because they're up there with the men fighting crime and showing that they're just as powerful as they are. And especially for Black Panther, I really enjoyed it because of its African cast and they didn't completely whitewash it to hell. And so it was it was a good change. And I definitely think that's the turn in a good direction, especially with superhero movies that are, because that's one of those things that shows empowerment of different diverse groups and cultures. And I think it's a good thing that's coming to it.
Well, two things on that. Black Panther, the characters are not from the U.S. You're showing them from a strong leader, from his own country in Africa. So this is the positive stuff that although it's backstory to superhero film, but it's it is important to show that out there it's not just third world country. This is a very high tech country that he can be powerful. He can make the better decisions. He is a very smart intellectual person. And we also have to remember is Wonder Woman, Black Panther was written back during the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
How long has this story been around?
That's really,
So, these writers, Stan Lee and all these Marvel writers, are really been on the cutting edge since the 60s.
Yeah.
Well, that's when
because
the
they had a reason to.
They had a reason to. They were written because that was when everything was in.
Exactly.
And I had a friend that was telling me actually last night about it, that when Black Panther came out, it got a lot of critiques because it's a black hero and it had black supporting cast and stuff in it. And so there were directors and stuff that publishers that came out and were like, we need more white people in it because they don't want comic books just filled with black people. And then soon after that, they released a comic book of Black Panther beating up neo-Nazis and Nazi regimes.
And it probably started sort of kind of underground, or they forced it on them to make that change. That's what you have to do.
Yeah. So it's good to see that they took it in a positive way, to not completely whitewashing the cast, but creating a strong and powerful movement against.
And go the same thing with Wonder Woman. The fact is showing the island where she came from was all female, and it wasn't corrupted until men landed on it.
Which is kind of true, yeah.
Very true.
And speaking of corrupt, and you'll see where I'm going with this because that wasn't a very good segue, but I'm still going to talk about this next subject. Valentine's Day just happened, and does everyone have like their favorite love song? Because I want you, as you're thinking about it, I'm going to tell you why I want to bring up the subject is because there are so many people that have their favorite love song because the title is wonderful. And I'm a big lyrics person.
I am too.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start reading the lyrics of what these songs are about, you would probably like just fall down and go, I can't believe that I dedicated that to my loved one for Valentine's Day. What's yours?
For me, my favorite romantic song, I'm not a big love song person, but I'm gonna have to say "Roses" from the Chainsmokers. It's definitely very meaningful to me.
I don't think I've ever heard.
I don't think I have either.
Well, we're gonna listen to it later then.
I know. Yeah. Well, I'm 20, so I mean that is.
That's
not my-
true. You should know this song. I'm gonna listen to it. What's yours?
Ti, whatever you like.
Oh.
You can have whatever you like. That's my favorite love song.
Oh my goodness.
Rubber band, thanks.
All right, well, I guess I'm going way back into Still the Night.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Really, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that one.
Very nice.
What's yours?
I like bitter love songs. Like
Oh,
the
you like
really
the
hateful
jaded, the ones that are
the
like-
ones that they're pissed off, like Alanis Morissette. You ought
Oughta
to know.
know, yeah.
A lot of Fiona Apple. She's bitter about everything.
Yeah.
But so for example, okay, there's a Whitney Houston song, old school Whitney, "Saving All My Love for You."
Mm-hmm.
That is about a woman, her as the person singing it, she's talking to a married man because he keeps promising her that he's going to leave his wife for her. And so she's just like waiting around, very sad and desperate, saying, "I'm saving all my love for you. Hurry up and leave her." Mm-hmm. People don't know that. Another one is Olivia Newton-John's "I Honestly Love You." That song is pretty much about a woman who is trying to build up the nerve to say, "I honestly love you" to the person that she loves, and she says it, and the person doesn't say it back, and the person starts ignoring her. So it's like not even a breakup, but just like a letdown, like heartbreaking song. And then, of course, one of the most famous love songs is "I Will Always Love You" by Dolly Parton, and then remade by Whitney Houston. That song is about someone saying goodbye, saying, I'm always going to love you, but bye,
Deuces.
we're not. Yeah. Deuces. Yeah, so I just find that like really, really interesting that people don't know that. But it seems like, I don't know your song, but it seems like all of your songs do mean what the
they
title
mean, yeah.
says.
Because I'm a writer, so I mean, I would hope that I would look into the lyrics or the songs that I were sending to my wife. You know.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And before we go to break, since we were talking about love songs and everything, I want to let everyone know that this evening we have a life drawing class, which is two nude models, one male, one female, and you get to sketch them. And I'm going to be giving away 2 seats to this evening's class or session, whatever you want to call it. There's a little bit of BDSM in there too, where they're going to be posing 2 beautiful models. And the way to win those is another lyrics question. And you can't answer, the panel can't answer, but the person who answers this correctly on the Facebook thread will get the 2 seats placements for this evening. In Michael Jackson's song, Billie Jean. Okay, let's go ahead and sing that chorus. Billie Jean is not my
You don't want to sing.
love.
I don't want to sing.
She's just a girl who dreamt that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. In the song, is the kid his son?
Oh, I know the answer to this.
So whoever answers that correctly will get 2 tickets, $40 value to go to live drawing this evening. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And the other one, while they're thinking about it, because we still have about 30 seconds left. Do y'all know this? Cindy, this is going to be before your time. Cyndi Lauper's song, She Bop.
Oh, yes, I know.
What's it about?
She bop,
He bop, we bop. I bop.
It's all
you
about.
bop,
Can
they
you
bop.
say that word?
Yeah.
Masturbation.
What?
Yes.
And here I was, in junior high, listening to this
Oh,
song.
I was too. That was
Clueless.
like my favorite Cyndi Lauper song.
Clueless. And the coolest part is the very first part of that song. She says, sitting here, there he goes, sitting in tight blue jeans, looking at a Blue Boy magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And a Blue Boy magazine was a gay rag.
Yep.
Go, Cindy.
Yep.
She's
She
still
was
a big
even
supporter.
a gay. Yep. She was a gay
Yep.
supporter back then.
Guys, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about Rack Focus, the film competition, and its crazy new rules.
I'm excited.
We'll be right back. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Don't Panic. Okay, so this round, at the end of the month, we are having Rack Focus Round 7 called All Stars. Now, what Rack Focus is pretty much a My Film competition where you have 3 months to shoot a short film up to 10 minutes. And it's been doing really well. And what makes Round 7 different is because, again, we're calling it All Stars because only award-winning films that have won an award from Rack Focus Round 1 through Round 6 can enter for Round 7 because because the prize is a fully funded full-length film plus distribution through ITN Distribution and La Luna Entertainment. Awesome. And that is unheard of for a competition. And I'm really excited about it. People have been wondering what the new rules are because we're kind of changing it around a bit because it's a special round. And Jeremy is one of our filmmakers that has entered and won awards. Mm-hmm. And are you entering this round?
Yep, we have a project.
Nice. So if y'all want to be in, few movies, we're going to be having the pitch session a week from Sunday.
I'm very expensive.
I think that's sexual harassment.
Here, let me touch you.
I don't mind. I was raised right. No, just kidding. Okay, so right now we have already let everybody know. It's going to stay the same as far as the length of time. It's going to be 3 months. And so it's going to start. The round officially begins the day of the pitch session, which is going to be February 25th, which is Sunday, a week from Sunday. And the deadline is going to be May 20th. Sound good? Because I'm sure everyone's going to be asking. I need to be, do you happen to be checking the comments or anything in case anyone has any questions? Yes. No, he's not. He's watching porn on his phone. All right. And the other one is the submission fee has increased a little bit, not very much. It is $175, but it's $150 right now if you purchase it in advance online at rackfocusdallas.com. The reason there was an increase in price is because normally we could get up to, I think we've had up to like 41 projects in one round. Yeah. And of course, a lot of that goes toward expenses. And because this round we have a smaller pool of filmmakers, we're just trying to compensate a little bit for expenses as well so we can at least break even.
Oh, and the prize is bigger too. I mean, like that's a huge deal.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
It's worth it.
Yes. And then also, so the one rule that we haven't made official yet, but I've heard there's already talk. Jeremy, you heard a little rumor. What did you hear it was?
Just something about the actors. If they were in a film, they could only be in one.
That, sir, is true.
Ooh.
So the new rule for round 7 is all speaking roles can only be in one project. All the actors with the speaking role can only be in one project. And that's for a few reasons. One of them is there is, I actually got this idea, Jeremy, from your production company.
Yes.
Oh, so
because
it's your
you
fault.
did that once, right?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't necessarily written. We was just trying. We told some of our leads and some of our supporting says, let's make this film special. Let's not have you, because we've seen that in Rack Focus in the past where we've had the same actor in 3 films in a row, and then we skip one, then they're in the next film. Mm-hmm. So let's stand out. And that's the biggest thing is everybody knows about entertainment industry. You want to stand out, and sometimes by doing too much, you're hiding yourself. And we discussed a little bit.
Because we talked about it on the show. I saw one of your directors.
Yeah.
He talked about it.
Yeah.
Openly on the show.
Yeah. That we asked that the actors in
Abby Joy.
Abby Joy. We asked her just do ours. And she was okay with that. Mm-hmm.
So I took that
and
concept.
It turned out pretty well.
Yeah, and I really like that idea. I think because it causes you focus, and so your energy isn't spread out all over the place. And as a creative and as an actress and a speaker, it's better to focus and hone in all your energy because the end prize is so big. Mm-hmm. I feel like everything needs to be up leveled. I've judged a Rack Focus before, and there have been some amazing films, but there are ways to take it up a notch and really, you know, showcase the director, the writers, and the actor's talent. And I think that that's a really good way, because it forces you to choose as an actress or, you know, crew, go, what do I really want to commit to? What do I want to represent me and my brand? It's important. I mean, you're going to have to make these decisions in real life anyway.
Yeah, so I want all of you actors to know that this means, yes, you can only be in one project, but look at what this means. Let's just say one director wants you for their project. Well, what if this director wants you for theirs?
That's
and
right.
they're going to offer you maybe a little more something or other.
Negotiate.
Exactly, negotiate. So it's going to make you more important. And also something that one of our fellow filmmakers, Alan Dunkel, who is here in studio, this is he brought this up. This is going to help other actors that might be overlooked because people focus on these main people that they want to act in their films or other award winners. This is going to open it up for other actors to get more work and to be in a quality project as well.
I love that.
Yeah,
I think it's a win all the way
I'd
around.
actually say quality, because a lot of the, you know, a lot of films in this round, you know, that's where, you know, it's they're here because they have quality projects.
Yeah.
Because you know, going to the, you know, the past competitions, you know, there's definite tiers you can see, you know, as you're watching the films. You know, there's stuff that, you know, that people aren't learning from film to film of how to get better. And
They are all fantastic, Jeremy. What are you talking about?
But I mean, I took this as, you know, as my film school when I started. I mean, when I started, I did 3 films in one round.
That's right. I remember.
But with that is, I didn't have the same people working on each film. You know, each film had its own crew and own cast, and that's how they got done. And I learned from every film I do that you got, you know, if you want to get better, you know, one, you can't listen to your friends. You know,
Right.
This is very true.
Everything you do is great. Put it out there. Let other people tell you, you know, and don't take it to heart, because there's gonna be people out there who be mean, but listen. There's got to be something you can take away to make a better film, and I'm hoping in this round that we really see a lot of great films.
Absolutely. And I think you're going to get that because some of the people that did a film in a previous round and then maybe have not done one in a while, this is kind of like it can be their comeback or something to prove themselves again, to stay relevant. And so I've had quite a few people asking me, since I am partnering up with ITN Distribution, who've been very good to me. They are an LA-based distribution company. They have movies on Redbox, Netflix, Hulu, everywhere. So they are a very good company. People have asked me, what do they prefer? Well, this company they love what they call genre films, which pretty much means like a set film that you can easily categorize. Like horror, they love horror, sci-fi, supernatural, Western, or a mix of all of them. I know someone at ITN had said a Western supernatural or a horror Western or any mix of those, and also action as well.
Okay.
Excuse me, they would like that. And I've also been asked, does my rack focus film have to be the same story and the same film as the one I'm going to pitch to them? No, it's not. But it would behoove you to have your rack focus film be a representation of you want to pitch to them as your full length, because it's already your calling card. It's already your pitch to them. So if you win and they look at it and say, yeah, do a full version of that, that's the best thing that you should do.
I agree. Like, as a writer who submit things, you know, like if I won an award or, you know, I won something and then I wanted to pitch a different book like that, I'm pitching this story because, and they accepted and they wanted it because they fell in love with that. So, you know, pitch that. So I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I think it would be good.
Yeah, good.
Speaking of, how much control are they on part of the judging panel?
I'm working on the judging. But there is already one judge that has confirmed.
Okay.
I will officially be a judge for the very first time.
That is so awesome.
Yeah. Well, only because my name's on it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be one of the producers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I'm going to be judging.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's your name too.
Exactly.
Because it's your name.
Exactly.
As well.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, the time's already up. Guys, be thinking of a question if you have a question that I haven't answered about Rack Focus, but we do have to take our last break, and then we're going to come back to close the show. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are about to close out the show, but you had a couple of rack focus questions.
I got two questions.
Yes.
One is the actor awards. If that film has won Best Picture, first, second, third, or audience, whatever, that voids that acting award. That's question one. What qualifies as owner of the film? Is it the person that the production company that produced it? Is it the writer, the director? That's two.
If the acting award and the film award were for the same project, that's one slot. Okay. And your second question is, what was it again? I'm sorry.
Ownership of film.
Ownership. That's going to come down to contracts. Just show us what contracts you have if you have a question about it.
Okay.
And we'll figure it out. Because look at it this way. If somebody were to fall on your set, who would they sue? Like, would it be you? Would it be the director? Who would it be paperwork-wise? And that's how we'll decide. Yeah. Awesome. Guys, I am going to pass it over to my guests to promote themselves, how people can find you, get you some more followers. Start right here.
I mean, my only social media is Instagram. So find me on there at Modern Mad Hatter.
I love that. Brandy Mar Sky. You can find me weekly writing for the Dallas Voice. I write for Curve Magazine, BET. You can find me at brandymarsky.com as well.
Awesome. And Jeremy Wilkinson with Empty Theater Productions, and that's THEATRE. A little different there. I'm on Vimeo. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, Facebook.
On XTube, Pornhub.
No. Shh, that's the other ones.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize.
One promotion at a time. But you can find me there. We're premiering my next short, I'm Nobody. Should have a premiere on that. Hoping maybe in April. And then we're having a project for this round and some other cool stuff going on, so pay attention.
Excellent. And I am Israel Luna. We are back on the air with Don't Panic. And It is every Friday at 3 o'clock here at the Spayse Station. And if you would like your own show, you can email us at spaysestudios@gmail.com. That's SPAYSE studios.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to my guests for being on the very first show for season 2. And we will see you next time. And if you have nothing else to do or you're still at your office, go to the Dallas Voice Facebook page because we are about to have their show as well. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Yay!